instead take care of the family place and do the best that I can with what I have here. And so what I do is I show up each day and I have a drink for myself and a drink for one for each of my brothers. Oh, they thought, oh, this is truly a loyal Irishman. You know, he's taken on the family loyalty. He's really bonding, holding the highest good for his brothers while they're off traveling in some strange country. Until one day he came in and he only ordered 2 drinks. And this went on for a couple of days, and the regulars were feeling a bit of grief and wanted to express their condolences because they realized that something had probably happened to one of the brothers off in America. And so they asked the bartender, they said, please, express to the gentleman our condolences for whatever the situation was with his brother. And so the bartender expressed the condolences, and the man looked up and he says, oh no, he says, my brothers are fine. He says, they're off in America, they've got great jobs, they're making really, really good money. He says, I've just decided to stop drinking for Lent. Don't be fooled by the appearance. The way that we show up, what's going on inside, may be different than what others are observing or what we are observing of others. And another way that it's been expressed is don't judge a book by its cover, because you may not know what the content is. You may not know what is the deep essence that is in the story, that is in the book, that is in there explaining about what it is that they want to get across, the point that they're trying to make. Sometimes you have to go through the book, and you have to go through it in different ways. It may not always be the best way to start a book at the beginning and try to read it all the way through. In fact, if you're like me, and I love science fiction and I love, investigative, detective type of novels, and I always go to the last chapter first. I want to know who did it right off the bat. It's just the way that my mind works. So I look for things in a different way than others might be, or that others might do. So that's my truth, but it may not be your truth. And I began to think about this idea of truth. What is the truth? And as I watch some of these detective shows like Law and Order kind of things, and when they get to the part of the courtroom and they bring the witness up and they ask him, they say, hey, would you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And I'm thinking, I'm not so sure that that's really accurate anymore. I don't know that you could ask anybody to do that. Can you tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If truth is the eternal and the infinite aspect of the universe, then in our individual mind, we really don't know the whole truth. We've got an idea of what we think it is. It's whole, perfect, and complete. But we're not sure what is whole, perfect, and complete. At least in my experience, it's not been that way. Because just as sure as I think I've got it all figured out, life happens, and something shows up that is not representing whole, perfect, and complete. So I don't know the whole truth. I know truth to the level at which I am able to understand this idea that there is a power and that there is a presence that is eternal and it is infinite. And I am forever investigating into the depths of the soul of who I am to discover my greater truth, knowing that it will always be more than what I have already discovered, because I am part of that, which is whole, perfect, complete, eternal, and immortal. And if it is eternal, if it is infinite, then it cannot be completed. It's not yet done. There is more to do. There is more for me to do. As long as I am in this experience, as long as I am in this physical being, as long as I'm using this body in order to walk upon this earth, there is more for me to discover. And I want to take all the time that I can to discover that more of me. Because when I look at this philosophy that we're talking about, and I understand to some degree that God is all there is no place that God is not, then I must be a part of that. I do not believe that I am the whole of that. But I know that God is the whole of me. That there is nothing of me that is not of God. But I am not the whole of God. It's like the drop of water in the ocean. It is completely a part of the ocean, but it is not the whole of the ocean. That is something greater. And it cannot know the wholeness of it. It can only know the aspect of what it is. The individual part of what it is. As that unique, individualized expression. So I have said to many of you often, who are you? Not who you think you ought to be because somebody else wants you to be that, or somebody else has told you to be that, but who are you because that's what you know you are. And then once you get to understand who you are, you begin to believe who you are, you begin to realize this is who I am. The next question to ask yourself, is that working for you? Is everything about you working for you? If there's something in your life that is no longer working for you, it's no longer serving your highest and greatest good, then would not now be the time to release it? As Dean was trying to do, to release it. And yet we're so stuck with it that it's so hard to get rid of. We wake up in the morning and we think, today's the day. Today's going to be that absolutely perfect day. Today's going to be the day in which I come to the realization of my truth, my wholeness, and my perfection. And then something shows up that stops me in my tracks. And I forget who I am. I forget what I declared as my truth. And I'm caught up in the stuff of everyday living. And then I forget to go to the meeting. By the way, it went quite well. Yes. So we have to be careful that we don't get fooled by the false impressions that are showing up. We speak here often about consciousness. Consciousness is the accumulation of all human thought through all time up to this moment. Every thought that has ever been considered within the human mind through all time, accumulated to this moment, is our consciousness. And it's not yet done. There's more to do. There's more to discover. There's more to reveal. Because we have not yet found world peace. We have not yet discovered that we can heal each and every individual in whatever